The words are put back more than we take. Meet a man whose personal creed is just that. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Wildlife Action Adventure Camp on the PD River. We're visiting with its founder and president, Bunny Beeson. Good morning, Bunny.
Pleasure to be here.
Thanks so much for being with us this morning. This is incredible up here.
Well, I like it.
The camp, and it's so spread out. It's amazing.
Well, we got 57 acres here, and the kids enjoy it. They get brought in the woods, and we have some cleared land for them also.
How long has the camp been around, Bunny?
We started this camp in 1985, I believe.
Okay. Of course, last week was the first session of the summer.
Right, day camp. That was kids from ages 6 to 11. Our camps the rest of the summer are ages 9 to 14.
Okay, and of course the next session is next week, and then you've still got a couple more sessions.
Oh yeah, absolutely, all the way up to August.
For kids who come out here for the first time, obviously you probably have folks who are coming back year after year. Or is there a cutoff?
Yeah, but I'd like to hitchhike on what you said about coming back. We're very proud. We have about a 73% return rate, and so we're very grateful for the kids that seem to be enjoying it. Our coming year, this summer, our theme will be 1890. Of course, that was Wounded Knee, so you'll see things more into the Native American type theme, and we won't have radios or TVs, because in 1890 they didn't have them.
Fortunately, they do today, so hopefully folks can learn.
Well, I don't know if it's fortunate or not. Well, for your job, it is.
That's exactly right, to pay the bills.
That's right.
Exactly right. And, of course, being here on the PD River, it's so exciting. The aspect of wildlife action, can you just share with the viewers a little about when it kicked off and the history behind?
Yeah, in 1977, we were on the big PD River duck hunting, and some friends of mine, we were very dissatisfied with the amount of ducks and the wildlife that was being taken, and nothing was being put back. And so most of them were my scouts, and I was a scoutmaster for 15 years, and they said, Bunny, we need to do something, don't you agree? And, of course, I've had this dream for a long time about having a camp for children and teaching them conservation and preservation of our natural sciences. And so I said, well, you know, guys, I've got this little idea. Why don't we run it by you? And they said, sure. And it started, and we started putting up duck boxes and bluebird houses, that kind of stuff. And it just grew, and I'd like to point out one thing. From 1977 to 1983, we only had 7 members. We didn't let anyone else join Wildlife Action because we didn't want to reinvent the wheel, and we did not want to just be another conservation organization. I mean, you have the Sierra Club, and you have all kind of National Wildlife Federation, Defenders of Wildlife, and all these things. And I wanted to bring a different outlook to it. I wanted to bring a sincere spirit, if you will, something that a person could find within themselves. And so that was a little hard to sell at first, and the guys, they bought into it, and now we have 14,000 members. Got members in every state in the union and 7 foreign countries.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, how are you able to keep that spirit within 14,000 folks?
Well, we don't always. We have chapters that open and close all the time. It's the individuals, and the individuals have to find their own niche of what they feel like they need to do to help save this good earth. And with today's fast pace, a lot of people don't have the time. You have to make time in your schedule to do it. And this is one of the things that I teach at these children. That's why the theme is 1890. We can pitch horseshoe, but we have no basketball, no volleyball. We have no radios, no TVs, because in 1890 it didn't. And if you catch a fish, you scale, cook, gut, and clean and cook the fish and eat him, or you turn him loose. We don't need to destroy wildlife for the sake of destroying wildlife. We need to try to save wildlife. And now, if you need to eat it, that's a different story. But so we teach these children how to recycle and how to find themselves within the forest, that this is God's backyard and it's a good place to play and enjoy. And we also teach them how to problem solve. That's one of the things we do.
Now, Bunny, of the 57 acres, how much of the acres are y'all taking advantage of?
2.5.
Oh, is that right?
Right. Now, there's a 3.5 acre pond. We don't count that.
Right.
But we've only destroyed, quote, unquote, 2.5 acres out of the 57. So the squirrels love it because they're always going to have a tree to climb on, you know.
Bunny, real quick about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
Born and raised in Mullins, yes, sir. February 15, 1943.
Okay.
61 years old, be 62 February.
You and Jim Battle, a guest later this week, are the exact same age.
Yeah, he and I played football on the same team. I went to Nam, he went to Nam. We have a lot of. He's a lifetime member of Wildlife Action.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How does one become a lifetime member?
Give me $400. But we have a payment scale. We can do it over 2 years, and we'll bill you every other month and that
Right.
kind of stuff. You know.
I learned a little bit about it last night on y'all's website, a spectacular website,
Well, thank you.
wildlifeaction.com. I think I saw individual memberships were $400 for lifetime, and for families it was only $600.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is a spectacular setup. Now, but what are y'all doing with those funds?
That's why you're sitting on the bench that somebody paid for by being a lifetime member.
Right.
Sponsors, we don't take any government grants. We're private, 501c3. All the money that you give us is tax deductible. We are also 509(2)A, which is a public charitable organization.
Okay.
We also, if you make a donation to us, you get to deduct 100% of it because we don't take any of it to advertise.
Right.
And so, yeah, all our advertisement, if any advertisement be needed, is done out of special people's pockets. We don't use any membership money to do that.
That's fantastic. Growing up here in the county, did you spend a lot of time on the river, Bunny?
Oh, yeah. The Little PD is where we're at. It's a blackwater river, mostly of Tupelo gum and bald cypress, and it's got a sandy bottom, where the Big PD is a muddy, clay-based bottom. And I always liked the blackwater and the otter and all that. And all my life, I was a scoutmaster for 15 years, and an Eagle Scout, God and Country, and I spent a lot of time in the forest and the woods, and I enjoy it, and it gives me peace, and it's my way of, it's my church, and it's my vocation.
Now, Bunny, obviously growing up in the PD, you were probably a regular attendee at Camp Coker.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I was a counselor at Camp Coker.
Is that now?
Yeah.
Camp Coker, I mean, y'all aren't considered a competitor. I mean, y'all are
Well,
obviously
yeah, in a sense.
kids could do both.
Yeah, but most of the time, the scouts, I'm still active in scouting on the commissioner level and that kind of stuff,
Right.
Quarter Bay, and we always encourage our kids to go to the Boy Scout camp. But this is, I stole a lot of ideas from Camp Coker to put right here.
Good. I was going to ask if some of the original decisions. I think I saw there was a 5-point law.
Certainly, and the scouts have a 12-point law.
Of course,
yeah.
but to see those 5, I want you to tell the viewers a little about those, how y'all came up with that, and B, just breaking those 5 down.
Okay, well, first of all, preservation, that's our first one. There are certain things that we don't want anybody to ever touch. The Grand Canyon, old-growth forest, the Statue of Liberty, a way of life. So that can become political, it can become anything else. There are certain things that we just don't need to destroy. We need to leave in its natural state. And then conservation. Now, there's where if you cut a tree down, you plant 2 back, because we all realize that we have to have wood and paper and all that. So we're not being naive here.
Oxygen.
That's exactly right. So then comes education. One of our goals is public awareness, and we want to break, and this is what we're doing here today, education.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, they have sportsmanship, and we wanted to make sure that sportsmanship, because we want to have outdoor ethics. We want class. We want understated elegance. We want people to understand that all hunters are not bloodthirsty, redneck, maniacs.
Right.
I mean, some of us graduated from Georgia Tech or Clemson, and some of us finished the 3rd grade. I mean, class is not a education thing. It's a individual thing. And so then, of course, fellowship, and we want to have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is.
That's vital. Of course, last week was a day camp, so the
Sure.
kids were out, you said ages 6 to 11,
Right.
from, I think, 8 to 1.
Yes, 8 to 1. We had 101 of them.
Is that right?
39 6-year-olds.
You're kidding.
Man, I'm telling you, that's a trip.
And so the parents, they get them out here at 8
Yes.
and are there to pick them up at 1. I think
Yeah.
last Thursday y'all had action night, was it? Or
No, Spirit Night.
Spirit night.
And we have that every Thursday of every camp. That's the parents' night. But our overnight camps, we'll put on the Indian pageant. And last year it was raining on Thursday night, and we had 360 people down here for our pageant just by word of mouth. Their kids didn't even come to camp. People would just come to see the pageant.
Right.
Because we do it pretty good.
You've got to.
Yeah, we do.
You've got to. That's very exciting. Well, share with the viewers. Why don't you break down? Of course, the next week is an overnight camp.
Sure.
The kids get a little older, or have
right.
the
They have to go. They have to be 9.
Okay. So it's ages what, 9 to 14?
14. Yes.
Okay. So next week, and of course, I know you've already done the cutoff for camp.
Yeah. Sunday was our last day on.
Okay.
On
Great.
that.
Well, share with the viewers a little bit about what's happening that Sunday, those 5 nights, Sunday through Friday.
Okay, well, first of all, let me make sure that everybody understands that our overnight camps are still open up through August, that they can still sign their children up.
Right.
This camp that we're in now is full and gone.
Right.
So they come in at 3 o'clock on Sunday, and they leave at 10 o'clock on Friday. We teach them, the theme being 1890, we teach them how to tan hides. We teach them how to canoe, turn the canoes over. We teach them how to build fires without matches. In fact, the record is 19 seconds.
Oh, come on.
No, seriously. We got kids that do the mile swim, and their names painted on the wall, just like the Vietnam Wall. And over the years, that builds a tradition. We have watermelon eating contests, tug of war. We have nature walks, edible plants. We do tree ID identification. We milk snakes. We have live poisonous venomous snakes that we show them how to take the venom out of it and all that. They don't do it. It's a safe camp, people. Mm-hmm. But we teach them how to set up tents. We have a relay race, and by that I mean they have to problem solve. They come in on Sunday, and we give them a coup stick, and they're broken into patrols, and each patrol competes against the other patrol. Most of the time the girls win because they have a better eye-hand coordination at that age than the boys do. Mm-hmm. But we have a lot of fun.
You mentioned a great thing, girls.
Certainly.
This is a co-ed camp.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, great.
48% of our membership are women.
Right?
You got all these women out there that work in the plant on the 3rd shift or 2nd shift, and they don't have a husband. I don't want to be down on your show, but this is America Today, and that's why we're having these camps. Now, I think that America Today needs to help get right. And these women don't have a husband, or the man is not in the child's life, so they come to camp, and we are that male bonding type thing. And also, these women join Wildlife Action so that where a child can see and meet men and do things. And so we teach them how to fish and what hook to use and how to bait cast and all that. And so, therefore, we have 48% of our membership of women.
48% of your 14,000 members?
There you go.
Oh, come on.
Listen, if you want a job done, get a woman to do it. Men have too many blue ribbon committees. They got to discuss everything, how to do it, what to do. Women don't have time. They have to go to work, feed the baby, cook breakfast, take the little kid to camp, so they'll throw one on the hip. Hey, I get women on my staff all the time. I got 4 on my national board, and if I could get more, I would.
So your mom ran the household?
Yeah, certainly. That's always the way it's been. Men take credit, women do the work.
Oh, my God, Bunny.
I'm sorry. This is the way I feel.
No, that's great. Well, you're reaching, this show airs right before Martha Stewart Living, so you've got a great female following, and I hope you're speaking to some of them. That's great.
It's a proven fact, though.
Well, that's help folks solve local problems.
Local folks solving local problems.
Help local folks solve local problems.
That's right.
How'd y'all come up with that idea, Bunny?
Well, I don't see where Washington, D.C. knows what we need down here. So who knows better what we need in our own area than the people who live there? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the guy that finished the 3rd grade with green on his teeth, with coveralls, that squats when he talks to you, has got more intelligence than a lot of people who graduated from high school. Mm-hmm. And if John Doe did that, and he's a good fly tyer for trout fishing, mm-hmm. who would you rather have teach your child how to tie a fly? That man that can do it and do it right, or somebody that read it out of a book? Mm-hmm. So we use the ambassador program. We incorporate people from Francis Marion, Coastal Carolina, professors, doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs. Whoever's in charge that knows their possession, we put them in the computer and call them our ambassadors. So when we want a program, I push a little button, find out who's available, bring them down to teach, because I don't know everything. Mm-hmm. I don't know a whole lot about anything, to tell you the truth. So we get the people who know, they teach the children, so the children are being taught by certified people. If it's gun safety, the guy's, certified. So local folks solving local problems. And we've been doing it for 27 years and doing just fine. So there we go.
Bunny, those are great words. You know, I called y'all's 1-800 number early this morning just to check, to make sure I had the correct number before
Certainly,
we began
yeah.
promoting it on air to promote opportunities for kids to enroll in the future sessions of the camp. That 800-753-2264 number had a little voicemail about Wildlife Action, but at the end it had, I think, 6 great words, or a few more than that. Tell me I forget, show me I remember.
Involve me, I understand.
And that's what Wildlife Action Adventure Camp's all about.
Good stewards of good earth.
That's a great that's a great series of mottos. That importance of really recognizing the involve me, I understand, and that's exactly what y'all are doing out here.
So can I cap this thing for you right quick? Wildlife Action is simple. We want to put back more than we take. That's our slogan. So how can you do that? Let local folks do it because they know more about it. And how do you want to do it? Under our 5-point law: preservation, conservation, education, sportsmanship, fellowship. It's a simple organization.
We got to talk about 10 more minutes, Bunny. So how about let's talk. I saw back in 1994 you were recognized by Southern Living magazine.
Oh yeah, that's
I believe this is 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The Southerner of the Year.
Yeah, that's me. You want to touch me? Go ahead, touch me.
That's right. No, I don't know if I want to touch the Southerner of the Year.
Yeah.
I know. I'm kidding. How'd you get that?
That's a story. We'll come back after break.
Let's hear it. No, we got about 10 minutes. Can you give us a?
All right. Well, actually, this woman called me up, and her name was Diane. And she said, Bunny, Mr. Beeson, I'd like to do a story about what you're doing with the kids and saving the Little Petey River. I said, certainly. She said, I'm with Southern Living magazine. I said, that's great. She said, when can you come out to Birmingham, Alabama? I said, I can't. And she said, why not? I said, because the Little Petey's in Marion County. And you want to write about it, it's sort of like making love. How can you write about it unless you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so she hung up the phone. About 6 weeks later, she called me up and she says, you're intrigued me. I can't believe you're giving up all this publicity and the story we're doing, Southern Living magazine. Can you meet me in Columbia? We could do brunch. I can fly in, you can fly out, and I can get the story. And I said, nope, can't do it. You asked for the truth now, right?
Right, yeah,
okay,
open up. Thanks.
All right. And then about 6 weeks later, she called me again. She said, okay. So she came down with her little high heels on and her little camera crew and the pictures and all that. And I took her down into Britain's Neck, into the swamp, and that's the 14 last miles from the confluency to 378 on our Scenic Rivers program.
Mm-hmm.
And she was interested in that part. And by the end of the day, I had her in shorts, barefooted, walking in mud and wrestling alligators almost.
Oh.
Not quite. Yeah, but seriously. A lot of alligators, and I took her down and showed her all that. And we became friends. I still get a Christmas card from her. But anyway, what was so cool, she wrote the story, and everybody liked it, so they made me Southerner of the Year.
They have a Southerner of the Year every year.
I guess. I don't know. I got it in 1994. I don't know.
That is huge. That is very exciting. Well, of course, they have a little bit about our founder and president at wildlifeaction.com. At wildlifeaction.com, it lays out some good things there. And, of course, I saw that towards the end. There were some other amazing awards recognized by the president, obviously recognized by the 6th district congressman.
Yeah, we even got an award from Kenya, Africa, about what we do with children. I was surprised about that. I didn't think anybody knew me over there. United Nations in 1996, I believe it was. But I would like to point out, if I can talk to the camera a minute.
Please do.
Wildlife Action is a simple-minded organization. I make $17,000 a year, and my secretary makes $12,000. I don't make any bones about it. We don't hide anything. We're the only 2 paid employees. So your money, if you join us, does not go to us. It goes to projects in conservation and public education for our children and saving our natural resources. All of our salaries are paid by sponsors. So we have people that sponsor us by giving us money. And Anderson Brothers Bank, PD, I mean, we can go on, and I can't start there because there's hundreds of them.
Right.
So that's how we make our living, and that's how we are surviving, because we don't take grants, because then grants have strings, and we don't want strings. So I wanted to make sure, if you don't mind, I'm not trying to say, whoopie-doo, touch me or my secretary. I'm sure she wants more money. But we're doing this because of the sincereness of wanting to do something good. If you feel like you want to help Wildlife Action, just call Mullins Chamber of Commerce. Just call Mullins. Everybody knows us, and we'll tell you where to send your check. But we do need help. And all right, I've solicited now.
No, that's great. Okay, absolutely. We got 7 more minutes to solicit, Bunny.
Okay.
So But I really just learned. Of course, you'll be back with us on Friday to talk about how camp went. We've got some exciting guests this week with Nick Hancock coming in tomorrow, and of course Pete Mulford on Wednesday.
Yeah, I know all those guys. Yeah.
And Jim Battle on Thursday. But it was so exciting reading a little bit in '86 that you sold your businesses to go ahead and make Wildlife Action a commitment that you.
I had this dream since 1962.
62.
Right. I knew what I wanted to do early on in life, and my childhood influenced that, and I wanted to make this world a better place. And I know that sounds corny, but that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm working to do, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. And I educated my daughter and got my stuff squared away, and then I told them on Christmas Eve, I said, guys, did y'all have a good... We opened my presents on Christmas Eve, so we have to go visit everybody. And they said, yeah, we had a wonderful time. I said, good, because I'm selling my business, I'm quitting, I'm going to play in the woods, I'm going to take some kids with me. And when I first camped, we had 20 kids. And been doing it ever since.
And the first camp with the 20 kids was just 1 week.
That's right.
You've expanded to now
and it was
5 weeks. That's incredible. Just you. Yeah.
Me. Yeah, I can handle 20 with no problem. Yeah.
Wow, funny.
I lost some of them at Alligator Adventure. We took them to the beach, but I found them.
You down at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I just threw them in the truck and we rode down there because we were bored here. So,
oh, my God. Yeah. Well, go ahead and break down in the next 5 minutes. Just break down, of course, each of the five for the next 3 weeks.
I can't say hello in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I understand. Well, then just break down one day. Break down what happens on Tuesday, for instance.
I don't know, but like first thing is Sunday night, everybody's fun. We go swimming, and they all excited. And on Monday we start our programs like we get ready for our relay race to the mile swim. We have heats so that they can qualify. You have to do it within hour and 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. The record is 43 minutes. We've had a child to swim the mile in 43 minutes. And they swim out here in our lake, and then we have things like watermelon eating contests and that kind of stuff. And we sing songs, and they start having to figure out what they're going to do for Spirit Night and how they're going to do it. And they have to create the program. So they have to get props people, they have to get uniform people, they have to get directors, producers, all that for their skit. And they have to do this. And then they have to submit to me by Tuesday what they plan to do on Thursday. And I'll prove it, then they go for it and do it. So if they need a tent, they have to build it. Or whatever, or teepee, or whatever, or canoe. And then, of course, we do things like sing songs and rifle competition and all that, And we play ping pong. I teach them how to shag. A lot of these fine folks don't know what OD is. That's Ocean Drive. The pad, they just tore it down in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. I missed the pad. But we did a lot of shagging, and we have a pizza party, stay up late and have fun, hug one another, just have a good time.
That's great.
Scream and holler and run.
You used a key word. Maybe you didn't use it, but there's a heck of a lot of volunteers out here. You pointed out that you and your assistant.
Last week we had 42 at day camp.
42 volunteers.
They don't get paid one dime.
A, how do you find them? How do they find you? Are these normally parents of
Well, I got one girl that's helping me now. She started since she was 6, and she's a freshman at Clemson. I've had them from California, and one year I had 2 brothers from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I had 2 brothers from Bronx, New York. Now, if you don't think that's something, they didn't know what grits were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we had a good time. But no, these kids find out what we do. They fall in love with it, and they come back and ask me. I got 22 guys wanting 4 jobs right now. I need one more counselor, and I got 22 applying for that one job. So I don't have a problem getting counselors.
22 applying for that one job to volunteer.
Right.
And they're out here all week.
Yeah, hot, sweaty, 105 degrees, whatever.
Oh,
Mosquitoes, red bugs.
Now, is it the same now for the overnight camps? You must have more volunteers here.
They stay here, live here, sleep here, yeah.
Right.
They give up their family to come here.
Wow.
The doctors take a week off so I'll have a doctor, the nurse. That's the way it works.
That's fantastic.
How can you be a volunteer organization if you don't volunteer?
Yeah. Well, of course, in scouting would be the same, Bunny. You've got, the same thing with the Boy Scouts, all the Scoutmasters, which you served as 15 years. It's a similar setup.
Yeah,
right?
Volunteer.
That's exactly right.
You got to put back more than you take, and you got to give back, and you got to set an example, and you lead by example, and that's what I try to do.
What was that biggest example for you growing up, Bunny? Who was that?
My Scoutmaster.
Your Scoutmaster?
Yes.
Huh.
And the principles. There's no difference when you're 40 and 20 in honesty and integrity. You tell a child, 12 years old, don't do that, you got to be honest. And then we go out and rob people in business world and call it good business or marketing. That's a lie. We shouldn't lie.
The 800 number again that you all have, if a viewer was interested in either getting their daughter or son out here or grandchild.
1-800-753-2264.
Okay, 800-753-2264. And of course, the cutoff for next week's already happened. It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
But for the next, there's still sessions.
Oh, yeah. Call and we'll set you up.
Coming up.
Yeah.
This is for children age 9 to 14.
Yeah.
When you think, we got a minute, Bunny, you think about being out here, and of course a camp going on for these 5-6 weeks during the summertime. What's the most exciting aspect for you? Is it whether it's for the day camp or the overnight camp?
Can I look at that camera?
You got 30 seconds.
It's the glory of action, the bliss of growth, and the splendor of beauty. That's what it is.
That's fantastic. Bunny, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Bunny Beeson coming up next. You heard those simple words on the Wildlife Action voicemail. If you give that 800 number a call, tell me I forget, show me I remember, involve me I understand. That's exactly what the Wildlife Adventure Action Camp's all about. If you know any kids ages 9 to 14, or you know somebody out there who'd be interested in getting out here, the dates of 7/11 and 7/25 still have some openings. This is boys or girls ages 9 to 14. Help local folks solve local problems. Get out here, get involved. WildlifeAction.com.